audio test. Looks okay. I think we're up and running. What's this? Cooking. Everybody else is cooking too. Sunny day, yes, beautiful sunny day. It's warm out here. It's going to be a hot one perhaps today. No sizing. It'll be tomorrow actually, or it might be tonight or tomorrow if there's some sizing for Yamamoto-san, the next batch of paper for the next book to buy. Okay, good morning gang. You see what we're doing here? Just continuation exactly from the last stream on Monday morning. I'm going to hack away a bit of this. The next job actually would be clearing, but I think rather than do that, we'll switch to another color and prepare another color block. Lazy morning today. What's the shop on the other side of the street at the extreme right of the view? What we can see, the one with the cone there, it's the cone and the large glass windows. That's a real estate agent, a little tiny, it's the local office of a regional real estate agent. They build new apartment buildings and they try and sell them. And it's a pretty quiet office these days. Nobody seems to be interested in that kind of stuff. Next to them, right behind the stanchion that's there, that's a small bar. They're called Kawayama, Sakiba, as you call it. Smoky little den. I've never been in there. Next to it, the one with the blue awning with the whale is, of course, one of Tokyo's most famous whale restaurants, called Hode-sen. Hode-sen. And next to that is sort of a dark hole that goes in. It's a coffee shop downstairs, and upstairs is a little dance hall that's not much used these days. And then next to that is another restaurant, then another restaurant, then another restaurant, another restaurant. John's looking for work, is he? I don't quite know if that's the kind of business you want to do, but whatever. The guy looks busy, the guy who is the tencho, the manager of this particular shop. He's busy. He's on his bike, out and in all the time. He hasn't even slowed down because of this stuff. Okay, time to cut one. Let's go. I have a sharp, super sharp knife this morning. It's a bit too sharp actually for this job on these color blocks. I sharpened it yesterday. I was cleaning prints, taking chiri, the bark marks out of prints. A bunch of the printers had turned in stuff too, so I packed them gone. The first batch of the prints from June, another batch from May, and Great Waves, the last batch of Great Waves. I had to do clearing of barks. So I had this super sharp, and it's a bit too sharp for this. This may actually chip off here. We'll see. For color blocks, I want to be cutting in deeper, basically hacking this stuff out. And if it's too sharp, it's just counterproductive. We have a very different show and tell today. This is not so much. It's a new package that came in. A hefty package. Now, I had originally intended sort of not to open it until the stream came, but I got a message from the auction guy. This package came actually. It came last Sunday night. I had intended not to open it. I was going to open it on the stream this morning, but a message came yesterday from Yahoo Auctions, and please verify receipt of the package so that we can transfer the money to the guy. They've got a system, it's sort of, what do you call it? Where one person in the middle holds the money. A pays B, but B has to confirm. I forget the English word for it, when you hold the money in the middle. So Yahoo Auctions was holding the money until I verified that the shipment was okay. They wouldn't pay the guy. So escrow. So I had to open it and look inside to see if it was okay. So So I can't do the actual real unboxing. But I put a piece of tape on top, we can pretend. And it is a good one. It's a fun one. And some of you, when you see it, you're going to be quite jealous. Karen here, she's going to just go green when she sees what's in this box. Is that right? John's got skin color here, skin color here, skin color here, and nothing here, just a highlight cut off with that string. Is that right? You guys checked me when I drew this the other day. There's probably the string here, a different layout. Oh, nothing to do with me. Okay. Let's see, where's the picture here? Excuse me, let me pop this up a bit bigger so I can see what's going on. It's the area we're looking at here, these fingers. John has asked for a skin tone, a skin tone, a skin tone. Nothing on this finger. Is that a mistake? Oh, yeah, there it is. That's what he wants. There's also some cutaways here, I see. Okay. Okay, I think we're done on the cutting on this one. This is one cut. That's cut. This is this. The food is cut here. Both sides, yep, it's cut. Shadow. There we go on. If I was doing nothing else, this block now we would get the persuader out and make some noise on this. I think, no, that's not the suitable thing to put on the string. We've got 3 more blocks to go on this, so what I'll do now is we'll grab another blank piece of wood and we'll prepare another color separation from John's originals. That's 1 of 4. The other day when you were here, I printed 4 blank separation sheets, prepared one of them, pasted it down and carved it. Let's now do another one. Chance for you to watch me make mistakes here. We'll have to kill the outside for a minute. There's nothing going on much. Let's pull this up. I'll just jiggle the Ethernet connection here. Okay, let's find the one that matches. There's this. John has done this thing with 2 groups of colors. Blue here, there's sort of a blue lilac color, and then there's 2 other ones. This is a darker tan brown and a lighter tan brown. We did the lighter one the other day. That's this one we just finished carving, and let's move along to this one. Somebody's calling me out here, Mr. Tom. I said, I promised these all have to be done the same day. If you don't do them all the same day, it might be rainy, it might be sunny, these things will expand, contract, you'll get different color blocks. True. Sue me. I'm getting away with it here for a couple of reasons. One is the weather really is stable these days, and 2, these are very, very small. If this was an Oban size print, you know, normal like a Great Wave size print or something, and if I were doing it the traditional way, using just the thin transfer paper by itself, you would really, really be in trouble by doing it over an extended period of time, because the stuff does. It expands and contracts bit by bit by bit. I'm doing it this way now against the rules, like a few things again, because it's one very small. Expansion and contraction is a tiny bit only. The lines on the print are very fat. Even if it did expand, I'd still get away with it. I'm using a very, very stable vacuum paper, which minimizes expansion and contraction. And while I'm not using them, I'm keeping them in a little plastic folder here. So sort of, I think I'm okay with this. So I don't know, is this one of those questions, don't do as I do, do as I say? I don't know. But yeah, it's a good idea to do it all as quickly as possible to minimize the chance of disruptions. So part of it, I guess, it's experience, you know. I have screwed up that thing. In the early days, I screwed it up and screwed it up and screwed it up. And in the early days, I was so stupid, I didn't understand what I was doing wrong. I would do it, you know, 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, rainy day, big sheets of paper, and I didn't grok. I didn't understand that it was all going wrong. It's a kind of on it, but it's a, call me out, call me out, call me out. Now I can see already where John has led me wrong here. John has made me do something. John Amos here, I'll show you. The last one we did here, what we're going to look at is look at this area. The hand holding the string up in the top right hand side. I didn't really think too much about it. I cut out this space here because John in his Photoshop wisdom had left it cut out there. I just followed it because it was going to be a highlight. I see now it's not a highlight, it's a dark light, so I should have put the lighter color underneath it. And in fact, because we haven't chopped this away yet, let's change this right now. If we wanted to do it John's way, we need a line here to match these colors exactly, and there's no way you want to do that. Is John here today? Yes, we did actually cut a line in the middle of it, but that'll be invisible. We'll just leave it. And this is okay. I wonder how many more of those there are. We could have done it, you know, now that I see the darker one here, the table, we could have left the whole table. I can't do it now because I chopped away too many parts of it, but we could have left the table. Yeah. This lighter one could have been under the hill, the whole table area as well, and it wouldn't have hurt. The problem now is that we're going to have this one on the table. It'll only be a single impression. And it would be so much nicer to print if it had the lighter one underneath it and then the darker one on top of it. Double impressions give a nice, richer, nicer feel. Anyway, we're at where we're at. Okay, so here we go. Now it doesn't matter where this line is. I can draw this line basically anywhere in this zone, it doesn't matter. But if they're having to match A and B against each other, it's critical. Table, the lines are already there. Nothing else to draw there. Bit of a shadow under here. Not shadow, highlight, dark light. same thing again here. Those weren't highlights, they were dark lights. I cut those out again. Again, that shouldn't have been done. I cut them out of the first hand thinking they were highlights. They're not, they're dark lights. It's double. If John comes back, let me know. I want to chew him out. That's out. Someone's asking, Ernie San's asking me, I just freehand draw these separations. Like, how else am I going to do this? Oh, look at this. We're missing a table line. Don't tell anybody. Talking about freehand drawing these separations, the real way this should be done, of course, this should be John doing this. And we should have cut the key block based on his key lines. Then these transfer sheets should go to the designer, should go to the artist. And that person then draws on these transfer sheets the color separations that he wants, she wants. That's the normal way of doing this, in the traditional way, of course. With a print like this, that's kind of a casual, easy print, these round dots, it doesn't exactly matter what shape they are, then I can do this with no hesitation. If my freehand drawing deviates a tiny bit from what John put in his Photoshop, nobody cares at all. We know what the level of detail that's necessary here. But where I get real difficulty is where there is a complex pattern. On one of the prints we're doing right now, the Hanami cats, that's in production now, it's testing this week again, second round of testing. The Hanami cats print that Jed did, there's a number of extremely detailed kimono patterns, way too detailed for me to draw freehand. So they have to come from Photoshop data. And the problem is, of course, the Photoshop data doesn't line up with what was carved as a key block. So that's when we have real trouble. You've seen me do that on the stream. Take one of these transfer sheets and take Photoshop data and try and paste it down on top. Okay, have we got everything on that one? Shadow on the back of the hand should be bigger. Yeah, bring it up higher. Okay, fair enough, fair enough, fair enough. bit more of a curve to it. Notice that in here, the space between the hand, that's the table. Come on guys, catch me on this. Do your job. That's the table showing through. Did I get dots on the onion? Onion. So I got the shadow here, if that's what you mean, in the right hand, and the shadow here in the right hand. Oh, he did, okay. Hi. Bottom of the barrel, and I've got something around it. Maybe I should draw it a bit more, I think. It comes up a bit more. Scattered dots here, scattered dots here. The thing above the scissors. I mean, it's a bamboo skin. Sorry, the bamboo skin that he's tying on the baron here. This is another one waiting in the background. It's a loose bamboo skin. Okay, let's get to the top part. Loose bamboo skin should have some dots. It has quite a few dots, John. I've put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then some scratches at the end here. I think it's okay. I did put them in. Bamboo skin by the thumb. Does it have the shadow placed? The bamboo skin by the thumb. If you mean a bit by here, what have I got? Maybe the little. What I'm going to do, this bamboo, I'm going to do the whole dark area, including here. So this whole circle area is going to be filled in. It's going to be included on this block to help darken up. We put up the other one as well, so it's going to get both. Where was I? That's the gas delivery for next door. That might be. You don't need my face here. This is the way the gas is delivered here in two ways. Some of the buildings have a pipe system coming under the ground. The building we're in right now, it does. The gas comes to us through pipes under the ground. The restaurant next to us The gas comes to the restaurant next to us through the system you're about to see. Except they've been closed, so they haven't been using much gas, and maybe the guy's going to come and check the meter and find out that they don't need any better. No delivery today, so with the restaurant being closed. What he normally would do is he would pull 2 of those giant tanks off the back of that truck, replace them with, you know. It's cool. They're really super heavy. Those tanks. They're full of, you know, compressed liquid gas or whatever, and they're super heavy. On one hand, he rolls them and rolls them and rolls them. It's really fun to watch, actually. Now, what's happening up in the food? Okay, here we are. These are the meatballs. And the meatballs have lighter stuff on top, and that's the showing through. If you look, where are we? This one, John's original design had called for dots at the top of the meatballs, but I left it as the lighter color under the entire ball. So the way we're going to create those dots now is by cutting them out of a darker color. So the darker color will be the entire meatball. Missing the dots. Vacuum ladies over there. And John's done this in Photoshop just by going plop, 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 plop. Not quite so easy in real life, but whatever. Yeah, put the dots where I want them. I mean, it's up to him. If he had done this a lot more carefully, then we would follow exactly. But it's a okay. Are we ready? Is this one a match? The shadow under here. We have the end of the sushi roll, whatever it is. We have the two shadow parts of the chopsticks. Under the bowl, highlight, dark light, something here. Two meatballs. Shadow under lure. If you mean down here, no, we're doing nothing here. That's just a Photoshop anomaly. John's got some gray Photoshop left over there. We're doing no shadows down here. We're not going outside the border. Am I going to feather down the meatballs or just cut it away? I'm just going to chop it out. I'm not going to try doing, this is too small of a scale to try feathering the edges of those things. I'm just going to chop out some holes. I think I'm good to go. Let's paste her down. What's this? Somebody says, I'm glad to see the shop is still thriving. The shop is not thriving. The shop is dead. It is a dead parrot. The shop is finished. Desert, Death Valley, the business, Mokohamkan. We're okay. We're alive. We're not thriving. We're alive. Subscriptions are down to somewhere between 50 and 60% of normal. Asakusa is 0. And online sales are up from last year. Mostly due to a certain octopus. I don't know how long we can continue that. We don't know, we don't know, we don't know, we don't know. Thriving, we're not. Alive, we are. Now, we have a real problem here, so we got to make sure we work around this. If the paper went here, that's another problem. The wood, we've got the people who are supplying us with wood. As we're going to try and work around this stuff. We'll put the table here. That will put the chopsticks there. That'll be okay. That thing there will be in a white space. That'll be there. The meatballs will be here. I think we're okay if we do it here. You're talking about that sumo wrestler, the young guy that died yesterday. Apparently, I'm not sure if it's exactly true. It was reported yesterday that he's the first person in his 20s who has officially died of this virus here in Japan. I'm not 100% sure, but that was reported here yesterday. That he's the first, quote, young, known face young person. So in one sense, this is a bit sort of a horrible thing to say. It's a bit good news, you know. Because in general, young people here do not get the idea that this is an important problem. And, by having a name figure who was young passing away is I think it would help a little bit here. Check again. Clear, clear, clear. Seems okay. Oh, someone's on Patreon. No, thank you very much. Thank you. You said it's not a lot. Please, that's not a factor. That's the idea. A small amount for many people, and it helps so much. Because we have zero revenue here, now the rent's still going. We're going to be having a discussion with our landlady very soon now about what to do. The reason a lot of reasons I've postponed that decision is partly myself. I don't know what to do myself, whether we should try and maintain this space here for a future where tourists come back, or just cut them out. I can't in any way see tourists here again now in floods for 2/3/far distant future. I can't in any way see that. And to pay the rent every month for a space that we actually don't use anymore. The building is split. We could keep the upstairs, second and third floor. We could let the first floor go. If 2, 3, X years down the road tourists do come back, then we rent somewhere else. We've learned from experience with this that we don't actually need to be on a busy main street like this. If Mokuhankan had a future shop, maybe in the same area, in Asakusa in the same area, but on a back street, much cheaper rent, it would be okay. People are going to follow us with their Google phones, and, you know. So really, the cold bean counting analysis on this place is to let this first floor go. But we like it, and we spent so much to get it up and running. But you know what they say, you know, what sunk costs, whatever, just, that's it, just cut. We haven't decided on this yet. We're still thinking about this. A bunch of the staff the other day we were doing this, we had to put our heads together and call a new business, some business that's got nothing to do with our printmaking business and that is directed towards Japanese consumers, nothing to do with overseas. Something that would make sense to use this space here in Asakusa for a domestic market because there's no foreigners. If we can unlock that little combination in the next couple of months, then we will keep this physical, this facility. But at the $3,500 a month rent for this, you know, just at the moment, just throwing it away. I can't read the language. If you move the shop, I can't read that stuff, I'm sorry. Start. Should put this in the shop. Handmade woodblock print. You can also use it in the smallest room in your house. Yeah, clean, easy to see. Well, I'm gonna get my chance one day. You know, I should go to John Becker's Facebook page. I think he's got a Facebook page, I guess, right? I should go to John's Facebook page. He's got some pictures of houses and stuff there. I should start grading them on a scale of 1 to 10. Like I know anything about it. Soviet judges. How's our time? 10 to 9. Okay, no problem, no problem, no problem. Actually, somebody's saying we should do an episode of Peeling Paper. I thought about for a joke doing this for YouTube. You know, all these Twitch streams get actually archived. I know the chats disappear into the ether; they're gone forever. But the video core, I download each one, and I've got them stored on a drive here for like 3 years of Twitch streams now. They don't have any chats, but they've got just the raw, the video and audio. And I'd like to make what they call supercut. Just cut the peels. The peel, click, another peel, click, another peel. We get so many now after 3 years of doing this on Twitch. There's probably 50 peels of it. You should make a supercut of this. So. Could add in a browser source that adds in the chat on the video. Twitch, when you go to the Twitch replay, of course, within the 2 weeks that Twitch stores them, you see the video, and Twitch also puts the chat out at the same time. And we've also, that for the past year or so, the last known God has given me a feed. The chat comes to me in an email with the timings on it. So they're also stored. So I've got the chat stored with the timings on them. And the videos are just stored as raw videos, M4V or whatever they are. So the data is stored there, but there's no single way to play them back together like Twitch does when they do it from their own source. So the stuff is actually there on an archived drive. But, yeah, do the peels. Well, you do it like you do with outtakes, right? I know I've got a couple of peels that are just a total disaster. It was made up of different stuff pasted together. Like we said before, one of Jed's Photoshop printouts, you know, so. But it's a pretty small pleasure for an awful lot of work, so I'm not going to be doing that anytime soon, please. But what I should be doing, absolutely. We started Twitch, it was what, like 2.5 years ago. And I think that we started in August, and that's September. What I did was I did a Twitch highlight thing. I had clips some like 1 minute, 3 minute, 5 minute, 3 minute, whatever pieces from streams where something was being explained or whatever. And I did a YouTube video, Twitch highlights from September 2018 or whatever it was, 2017. And that needs to be done. It needs to be done like every month or something, but I just don't have enough time to do this. Okay, talking too much, not enough work. Keep me updated on the time, because we have a show and tell that will take at least 15, maybe 20 minutes. It's a very rare show and tell, something that happens only once every few years. those of you who have really been hanging around here a long time, people like John Becker, he's been here for a decade, where they're hanging around our work and stuff. There's an old video on our YouTube channel where on Yahoo Auctions I had done some bidding and I had bought a box of Barons. And if you've seen the video, you know what I'm talking about, where we got the box of old Barons and then realized that it would have been more fun to surprise one of our staff members with it. So I sealed the box up sort of to make it look like it hadn't been opened, put it aside, and when Ayumi-chan, young Ayumi-chan, was making Barons herself, when she came along, I put the camera on her. It was a very low-res camera back in those days. And that was great fun. We put that up on YouTube. Well, today it's a similar thing. There's nobody else here to play the game with it. And it's not that special a box, but we've got a similar thing today. We've got some tools from an old auction, and I'll put the camera on myself and open them up today. So it's not Barons today. It's not Barons today. But that video, it was so much fun. I really regret that we didn't have better quality video at that time. You know, it was an old, what is it, the 640 by 480 or something video feed, and my light bulb was in the way and the camera wouldn't focus. So we didn't get good quality video from it, but it was okay. We saw this young girl opening this box. I think, I forget the count, she said the word Sugoi like 645 times in the middle of a 5-minute video. So it was great fun. And partway along, it became clear to her that I had already opened it because I was busy explaining to her what she was going to see next. So the surprise thing was just a bit of a joke. And some of those Barons, you know, those Barons we got that show in that video. When I did the octopus printing last week, 2 of the Barons I used for that job were tools that we got that day. They were just so useful. The brushes we're still using, the pigments are pretty much long gone. I preserved some of those. Some of the pigments that you can't get anymore, I tucked them away in a drawer out of sight. But the other pigments, ones that are normally obtainable, I just let them come with staff. The staff used them for the past few years. But those Barons are still now in use. We numbered them, we named them. The ones I used for the octopus printing this week, it was I used number 4 and number 10. And number 4 is the one that some of the staff refer to as the Tiger. It's an interesting Baron. It's strong. It's a strong coil, but it doesn't sort of seem to have all that much strength. You use it, you got to tie it on really tight or it doesn't work. And when you're using it, you think it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. Then all of a sudden you rub the back of a sheet of paper and the paper rips into shreds. You just really got to be careful with that Baron. Sometimes it just bites and grabs the paper. And they're all a bit leery of that one. It really works well, it's really strong, but every now and then it says, ha 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 ha, look at this. And it just goes berserk for a few minutes. It's like these things have personality. So I like using it, but the staff doesn't. So when I picked it up last week to do some of the printing, I used it for printing the background octopus tone on the octopus bodies. Like I picked it out of the box and had a little chat, you know, hello number 4, you know, been a while since we've worked together, how you doing, you know. And the Baron says, hi Dave, nice, thanks for choosing me for this job, you know. And I'm like, good, you know, we need this nice smooth color, but no fooling around today, okay? Yeah, Dave, why would you say that? You know, so. And it behaved very well. John Amos hit the Baron mother loaders in Japan. Now, don't talk to me about John Amos. He did indeed hit the mother load. We ended up, whatever, I don't want to talk about it. He wanted it, I wanted it. I didn't know it was him that was bidding. I think he should have known it was me that was bidding, but whatever. Yeah, there were toxic pigments. They are carefully wrapped and stored over in Ome. We don't use them, we don't touch them. We don't really want to talk about it too much because it's not legal to possess such things here, so don't tell anybody. Yeah, we bid against each other. Brushes. There was a batch of brushes from Kintaro. Kintaro, the famous old maker. He died before I came here. Beautiful, 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 beautiful brushes. There was a batch, I forget, 25, 30, 35 of them or something on auction, on a Yahoo auction, and I started bidding, and I don't want to talk about it. Just it went up and up and up, up and up. I forget, like 3,000, 3,500 bucks. I forget the number. I eventually gave up. I just gave up. 3 or 4 weeks later, I see on John's website. I mean, nobody else won. It was just me and John stupidly pushing the price up against each other. He's bidding through some kind of intermediate website that allows people doing English websites to bid on a Japanese website, Japanese auction. So he must have paid some intermediate person some percentage of the sale as well. So. But I think John now, he's got enough barons and brushes, so I don't think he's going to be in on too many of those auctions. So I think I'm safe from his interference for a while. Okay, be careful here, don't make mistakes, okay? This is exactly the kind of place where it's really, really easy to screw up here, cut away too much. That's what the yellow is for, of course, to try and highlight it in your eyes so you don't cut the wrong place. There's a bit of funky wood in there. I could feel that there was a cut junk. There's a bit of funky wood in there. It caused a problem, I don't know. The thing about those auctions with John, though, those tools he got in competition with me, they've obviously gone to pretty much the best home on the planet for those things. And John is not just a dilettante. He's not a dilettante here. He is making tons and tons and tons of prints. So those tools that he got that were rescued from some other workshop here in Tokyo, they could not, absolutely could not have gone to a better place. I mean, coming here, they could have been used, but other than coming here, is the best place on the planet for those tools to make their new home. So he's got that wonderful collection of barons now, wonderful collection of brushes, and they are being used in the way that they should be used. So I joke about not getting them and losing the auctions to John, that's okay, but the end of the story is that the tools are in a fabulous home being used to make another generation of beautiful prints. So the end of the story, of course, is a happy ending. I find myself frustrated about it. But there's no bad news here, of course. bunch of wonderful tools in the best place they could possibly be. So what's happening over here? Oh, a bunch of visitors. Hi guys. Okay, up to the meatballs. See what we can do with these things. To the meatballs. Oop. What's this? What's this? What's this? No, showed a bit too early. But give 9:15 or something. 9:50. Yeah, this is not the yellow areas. This is the brown. I'll pop up again if there's new visitors here who didn't see this. These are the color blocks, and the one we're carving right now is this one. It won't be exactly the same color. You see here, it'll be a darker brown tone. And you can see right now we're just about to cut out the specks at the top of the meatballs. As you see in the pattern over at the left, we've already done the shadow in the bowl and the chopsticks. I'm not sure what we're hearing out there, what that sound is. Some kind of a hoist, I guess. I'm not sure. Carving out little circles and stuff like this. I remember once, I don't remember the print I was doing years and years and years ago. I was thinking, there must be an easier way to do this instead of cutting out circles. So smartass Dave thought, okay, I know what I'll do. I'll just get a nail. And I banged the nail in, bang, 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 made a bunch of circles. I'm so smart, I'm really cool to do this. It was, of course, a total disaster. When you do it with a nail, you haven't taken away any wood at all. You've just compressed wood. The nail bangs a hole, but it's not like a drill or a knife that cuts a hole. So of course you can see where it's going. Once you start printing such a thing, that wood that you have compressed and pushed aside soaks up the water, swells up again, and X minutes after you start printing, you have no holes, just dirty marks. Cutting these circles through reminds me of that video last week, the show. Did you see it, Ito-san? I'm talking about I gesture. You know, when you're cutting these small circles, and he says, your knife breaks, right? Cut me off before you knew what I was going to say. That was really fun for me last week to see that video stuff. I hadn't seen it in years and years and years. It was great fun to see that. Planning is underway now for number 3. There's a third one. There's the Remembering a Carver, the epilogue. It's not happening soon, so this is not a tease, just it will at some point one day come out. Remembering a Carver, the epilogue. And we'll do close-ups of the wood block. We'll do close-ups and a survey of prints I've got that are made by Ito-san. There'll be an interview with his daughter. So we'll have one more, somewhere down the line. But it will not be soon. It's literally years away. Okay. I know what you're probably yelling. Show and tell. I get it. Okay, it's going to be fun. I know what's in the box, and it was cracked open just to confirm that we did receive it, so I could tell the auction people, please pay the guy, but I have not inspected this stuff. There won't be junk in it, this is good stuff, but whether there will be some real treasures or not, I don't know yet. It's a little bit big here, so let's get rid of the street view for a minute. Look outside where nobody's walking. 1 minute late, give me a break. Actually, well, I'll pop up. I got a link. This is an auction stuff that came in, and here's a link to the auction page. Yosha! And this is a fairly chunky box here. This picture. Now, as I said, this is not a super unboxing. I did open it yesterday, but let's pretend what's inside. The price of video. What did I pay for that? The auction was, what's the number? 3? No, I paid 29. How much did I pay? 29,000 or something. So it's just about $250. How are we going to do this? How are we going to do this? This perhaps was not such a good idea. Whatever. Anyway, I'll tell you what. Let's just cut the box. We won't be using this box for anything else again. So let's just cut this off. In fact, tonight is cardboard recycling day. Here, this will make it easier to see what's going on. Okay. Sorry, box, but that's enough. Newspapers. Okay, we have brushes. As you saw, we have brushes. Let's have a look. We have pack after pack after pack. I'm not quite sure what's in that. Let's have a look. I should be like Ayumi-san. Sugoi! 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 The thing about these brushes is we have brushes, but what kind of age, what kind of quality do we have here? Let's grab one of these packages, open her up, and have a look. Who made them? That's the problem. When they picture on the auction, he put all the photograph like this, fade and hair up, and I can't see who made them. That's Miyagawa. These are going to be old. It hasn't been washed in 15 years. It's okay. You know what to do with that. That's Kobayashi. These are going to be okay. They're in terrible condition. It would have been a printmaker, I guess. Oh, Kobayashi, there, right there. Oh, that's Komatsu. We have a small. Oh, zoom in. These are not that old, because that price, that's not such a long ago's price, and this wood does not seem that old. This is interesting. Some of them are older and show much more use, and some are much newer. These are usable. It would have been, I guess, a hobbyist printmaker, my guess, an amateur hobbyist printmaker. The brushes are not done on shark skin. They haven't been softened on shark skin. They're just as they are when you buy them in the shop. Some of them still have pigment crusted inside. So first step will be to put these in a tray of water, like 1 centimeter of water. Put them in a tray of water, let them soak for an hour or so, and then wash out all that encrusted pigment. These are going to be useful. This is not a fabulous, oh my God, a treasure house of the ages, because these are not all that old. But these are going to be useful. And somebody might ask, Dave, why do we need more brushes? Because brushes wear out. Brushes wear out. You use them, you put them on the shark skin, you rub them down, they wear out. This is a bit old. Look, he's been using that for quite a while. That's soft too. Somebody's treated that one for him. And it's split a little bit. These are okay. These are usable. Brush like this nowadays, they cost about 3,500 yen each. And there's 30 of them supposedly here, and I paid just about $250. There's more. But also in the auction, if you saw the picture, there was also this. Let's open this. It wasn't all just Muddy Bucket. These are called Muddy Bucket. It wasn't just Muddy Bucket. It was Tebake. Lots and lots. This is also Komatsu, so that must have been his main supplier. Look at this, brush after brush after brush after brush. These are 100% usable. Totally usable. Beautiful. What's this, a letter? The auction invoice. So, the auction invoice. The 20 bid price plus tax plus everything else, 33,000 yen I paid, which is just about $300. Just about $300. I saw this in the picture. This is a bearing baren. Unused. Bearing baren. What's this go for? I think on Matsuura-san's website, this is about 30,000 yen. This is interesting. It's a bearing baren. Now, in our life here, we don't use these in our daily life. I did years and years ago, about 15 years ago, when I made the giant scroll print I made. I was really having trouble with the background for that. So I used one of these. In fact, exactly the same tool that you see here. They're okay. They don't last long. Now, even when I was doing that scroll, I wore this out. Because what it's got ball bearings and there's a Teflon pad behind it. But when you rub and rub so much, the Teflon pad wears out. And it doesn't come back. With a real baren, it wears out and comes back the next day. What have we got here? Something heavy. Oh, I know. These are pestles, mortar and pestle. So when we're grinding pigments. So. Pestles for grinding. We use these when we're grinding our pigments. So. Oh, last in the box. I think these are more Hanabi. Yes. Oh, nice. These are good. These are good. Some of them, oh, look at this. They are nice. These are the real ones. Okay, there's something here that's actually kind of cool. Little hunkabucky like this. It's hair in a clump, and it's wrapped with something strong and then sewn together and put into the handles. Now, in the old days, the thing they used to wrap it with was cherry bark. The bark from small branches on a cherry tree. I wonder if we can see here. Let me try and get it. What we want to know here is this cherry bark. In the old days, they used actual cherry bark. Then they moved to the next step of using cardboard with a photograph of cherry bark on the outside of it. And then the ones we get nowadays are just cardboard. They don't even go through the facade anymore. And I think we've got the intermediate layer here. I don't know, I'll leave my scope to check this out. I don't think we have the real Mokoa here. I don't think these are old enough for that. Oh, this one is cherry bark. Look at that. It's actual, real cherry bark. I don't think they all are. Yep, that one is too. Yep, it looks like we got a bunch of brushes that are old enough to have real bark. And it's a difference, you know, the cardboard just doesn't last very long, but the actual real bark does. Yeah, this is cherry bark. Very nice, very nice, very nice. You can ask me if I need a scope to tell the difference, and what difference does it make if you can't even tell the difference with your naked eye? It's a difference in longevity. The cherry bark part of it will outlast the hair. It's a perfect brush that will last for a long, long, long time. And the hair on these, I mean, I've still got the first ones that I bought here. They don't wear out that much. The Mutabucky really wear on the shark skin. These don't. So these are nice. These are tools that will be used here long after I'm gone. These will be passed on to whoever will be inheriting all the stuff that we have here. Yeah, it's the real Mokoa. If you've got some of these at home, you know, just get your scope or something and look, and you can see the pattern. It's a pattern of printing. And the cardboard ones, just simply the cardboard rots. They don't last very much. The flattened diamond symbol, it's not a diamond, it's pine needles. You know, pine needles come in like pairs. Matsu. And this is Komatsu is the guy's name. And Ko, the character in the middle, is the character small, chisai, small. And he made a logo out of a pair of pine needles and another pair of pine needles. So this is his name, Komatsu. Long, long, long ago. These are all, everything you see here today is horsehair. It's all horsehair, a blend of mane and tail and summer and winter. These are all, it's all, each brush maker has his own sort of magic formula for doing this. And some of the brush makers, Sekini-san, before he died, I got some brushes from him, and he did a blend for me while I was in his workshop. He ran a bit up, tested it, asked me, how's this? And I'm pretending I know what I'm doing. Yeah, it looks, feels good to me. Okay, good, 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 good. I didn't have a clue, but whatever, you try and learn when you're doing it. And it's what's called the koshi. If I push like this now, and this is caked with pigment, so it's not a good test, but a normal dry brush. If you push it, you want to know how well the hairs flex this way. And it's called the koshi, the stiffness. And you want a brush that's good and stiff. If they flop, 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 you can't use these. You couldn't use goat hair for these because it would just flop, 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 flop. So you need a stiff brush, but too stiff, and it scratches the pigment on the block. So this is the shark skin thing. You want a stiff brush, but yet you do the tips on shark skin so they feather. So you've got a brush with good koshi, and yet it doesn't leave scratch marks on the face of the block. Well, here's one. Hasn't been used. Total brand new brush, no pigment, no nothing. There we are. Totally ready to go. It needs a bit of a touch up on the shark skin. Ready to go. Very nice. Very light, Good, good, good. A bunch of these haven't been used. Very, very nice. Okay, there we have it. It's not a show and tell for the ages, but it's very, very, very nice, very useful for us, here in this workshop. And I don't know, you know, some dude died, you know, I mean, whatever, a guy who made prints, and at some point he must have died, and his wife or kids or grandchildren found this box of stuff in the house and dumped it on Yahoo Auction. I'm happy to get it at this price, and I imagine they're happy. Oh my God, they got $300 for this bunch of old junk that was in a drawer. Suits me. Everybody's happy. I put the sharks back when we're done with them. We get scraps of shark skin from the fish market. It's sharks that are being fished for food. This is not great whites or something like this. And this is not sharks that have been damaged and thrown back from a fishing net. These are fished for food. They're called kasusame, and they're in the Todosu market every morning. And it's been years since I bought one now, but we get a scrap of shark skin, and that's what we use for softening our brushes. Is that an ecologically ethical thing to do? I don't know. I don't know the kanji for koshi. I'm sorry. Stiffness, whatever. Look it up. I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't write well enough to remember that. I don't know. I know the word, but I don't know the character for it. Somebody's giving a couple of tries here. No comment. I don't really know. I'm sorry. I don't know. Kasusame. Kasusame in Japanese. Kasusame. If you look at Matsumura-san's website, he's got the English and the Japanese characters on there to see it. Okay, I think I had better get out of here. I have a whole bunch of things to do today, including washing a bunch of brushes. Today is Thursday morning. I'll be back here again Saturday morning, and you know exactly what work will be going on. We'll be carving that block. Or maybe sizing. Carving, I think. Moving the cameras upstairs is just too much. Okay, I'm out of here, guys. Thank you very much for hanging around and seeing what's going on here. And I'll see you again next time. Thank you very much. Bye-bye for now.